Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Circus, and today we are going to be watching yet another tournament best of 3, this time against Space Alien. So the decks should be showing up on screen. My opponent had WD, they had Goliath, they had Shep Stress 3, and they had two kind of interesting, one with a Vessel team and another, and this Abomination team that's kind of like dot focused, and I thought, well, they have 3 Flagellants, 3 Crusaders, 3 Abominations, one of their teams is WD. You know what, I feel like Hit Squad does pretty well into this. I'm gonna play Hit Squad, I'm not gonna bring Snuff on my Arbals because they only have 1 pull, and it's on WD, which is a good matchup for me. So, you know, we play Hit Squad, and we game on, we see how this one goes. So yeah, here we are on the Hit Squad, we do not get to go first, so we're immediately gonna get stunned, and the game plan here is punish my opponent for not bringing Punish on their Flagellant. As you can see right there, they have Reclaim and the Reign of Sorrow, so this is something that you can get away with when you can kind of just keep your characters alive with the Flagellant. If you can't keep your characters alive with the Flagellant, you know, if the Flagellant's your only defensive guy, then you usually cannot do this because they're gonna die, and then all you're gonna have is a Flagellant. He's not gonna have Punish for the end of the match, so it's not gonna be good. But yeah, I see that the Abomination has already used his turn, so I can mark him. There's a person that can guard him, but it's only the doggy. It doesn't really threaten me all that much. So I can mark him, I can shoot him, hopefully get the crit, which I was hoping for. It was a 44% chance to get the crit, or at least a high roll, but sadly I get neither. I get a freaking min roll for 18 on a sniper shot. That is a nasty, like, just terrible sniper shot, one of the worst I've ever seen, meaning that even if I go for Punish here, I'm not going to bring that Abomination down to 0, so you know, it is definitely not the easiest spot for me to be in. My opponent's already dropping the Hound series, they're kind of just going for massive pressure. I don't understand why they went Hound Seri and then they went Battle Bound. Like, you'd imagine them to go Battle Bound and then Hound Seri, having the choice, but I suppose that they were a bit nervous, which we might see in just a little bit. But yeah, they're going to guard here, and now I'm kind of in a really rough spot because that doggy has the Monkey's Paw. He has 50 dodge, so it's not really too reliable for me to go for the 50-50 stun on him. I don't really want to do that. So I can still shoot that Abomination, bring him down to 0, but then the Abomination just heals himself. I can shoot him again, start of round 3, mind you, and then he can heal himself again. So, you know, we'll kind of be in this back and forth or retreat turns, but they're buffing up Finale as we do this, so they're probably going to get a kill off before I get my kill off, but it's going to be a Finale Jester, so overall it's not looking too good for me at all. It's looking like it's going to be rough, but considering that their Flagellant doesn't have Punish, I decide to go for this move anyway. We're gonna go ahead, probably end up doing a trade of characters later down the line, but hopefully I win the endgame with my superior endgame characters. However, my opponent does a very, very crucial oversight. They miss the fact that I have Caltrops, and this is just... the moment I saw them go for their Jester turn, I just started smiling internally. Only internally, externally I was focused as hell. But yeah, only internally I started smiling because I thought, you know what, the person that plays this team does not bring Caltrops, and I thought maybe Space Alien thinks that Hit Squad does not have Caltrops, thinks that Hit Squad has the uppercut, which is what the original creator of the team brings. However, I love Caltrops. I think Caltrops is a stellar move, and I bring it on pretty much every single bounty hunter I have. Even if I put him in position 1, I will still bring Caltrops. I'll just try to solo someone to position 1 so I can use the Caltrops. And yeah, they miss it entirely, and because I got the mark for death debuff, because I had the finisher on my bounty hunter, I'm just completely able to punish that very, very tiny oversight that completely changes the whole dynamic of how this match is going. So it has gone from being a very difficult situation for kind of for both at the end of the day, but mostly for me, to actually being a very, very, very good situation. And it kind of puts me in a position where I have to make a decision. I can try to stabilize here endlessly by going like Reclaim and the Arbalist heals, or I can try to kind of just prevent this Jester from getting the Finale off by outright killing him, trying to hit into that 40 dodge, or I can go for a trade of characters by killing that Flagellant and then, you know, probably getting Finale'd, but after that Finale comes down, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have still 3 characters at worst, and my opponent's only going to have 2 characters. One of them is going to be a post-finale Jester, so I would be very, very happy with that situation. That is indeed what I end up going for. I'm just going for punishes on that Flagellant since he was stunned already, so he's going to eat a lot of bleed from the Reclaim, from the Punish, from the Caltrops, all of them combined, and then I can go for the guaranteed hit chance, and then the 95% death blow. So this is looking like a wrap, unless my opponent gets the 5% death blow resistance. And just as fate would have it, they don't get it. I'm teasing you, I'm teasing you. They don't get that resistance there, but yeah, they can get the finale off on me now, but honestly, it's kind of too little too late. They've lost 2 characters by round 3. It's really not the spot you want to be in. Usually against WD that can happen. Against Hit Squad it's quite rare, because the Flagellant is not as good on the offense, but yeah, they get the finale off and then they surrender, so they go straight into a match number 2. So for this match number 2, my opponent had already used up their kind of like only DOT team, like their DOT spam team, so they were kind of low on just having damage over time, so I thought, you know what, they have WD, they have Goliath, they have a weird Vestal team that probably needs to kill me through damage as well, right? They have Chef Stress 3, which is the only team that could kind of counter me here, but I think Salak's Prot is a very good team to bring, and that is indeed what I end up doing. I bring Salak Prot, I go up against WD, and this is quite a fun matchup. I love the damage versus stress matchup, especially when there's WD involved. But yeah, my opponent has a very interesting sort of WD. This is a stress WD. That Abomination has Wretch's Cloak Net, and that Crusader has Writ of Execution Sacred Blade, meaning that between the Zealous and the transformations and the Arbol just getting crits and bringing people to their store, my opponent's actually going to do a lot of stress. So yeah, that's not too good. What is quite good though is that I managed to go first. So I'm just going to immediately drop the Block of Light, and then I click my Grave Robber after they drop the Caltrops a bit too early in my opinion. I feel like you need to keep that Caltrops for like just a second, at least until after the Grave Robber uses their turn, or something of the likes. You need to keep that Caltrops for just a tiny bit, but I suppose it's going to end up paying off for them, because now they're going to be getting even more stress against me because of the blood stress they can debuff or whatnot. But yeah, I go for the Toxin Trickery because I had the chance to miss the Arbles, and honestly, if you miss the 93% Panic Darts while you could go for Toxin Trickery, it would just make me want to surrender, so I feel like just Toxin Trickery, give yourself the dodge, don't get Caltrops bled down to 0, it feels very, very good for me here, at least a lot better. So yeah, they end up deciding to slam my Flagellant, but honestly I'm fine with it. I'm just gonna live with the Flagellant in position 4. My opponent can go for a stun my Crusader. I was quite surprised that they didn't, ended up deciding to go for the Zealous Activation instead. They can't really stun my Men-at-Arms because they only have 1 stun trinket and I have the Numbing Instant, so very difficult for them to ever stun my Men-at-Arms. So he's going to be he's pretty much like a huge menace here because he has the Eerie Eye in terms of the trinkets. I still have a Generalist setup. I didn't bring an anti-damage setup because I knew there was a chance I'd go against that weird Vestal team that also had a Flagellant and I think a Jester, so they could do like a lot of DOT real quickly to me through that. And they could have also just brought Chef Stress 3 with the Grave Robber and the Abomination. That would have been really, really sad and just lose if I brought like a full anti-damage setup. So I thought, you know, let's keep it balanced. Just keep the classic Salak Prot setup, and the Flagellant is going to have that Hemlock, so it's not going to be too helpful this match because he's mostly going to be staying on the defense. But yeah, he's in position 4, he is chilling back there, no one can hurt him, only the Arbol can go for like a Sniper Shot or 2. Man, after she does that, I was hoping to go for the heals with my Crusader, but unfortunately, you know, I am going to get stunned. It to be expected, obviously. I could have survived the stun, actually. There was a 20% chance that I didn't get stunned, but, you know, unfortunately, such is the way of the Butcher's Circus. I don't get that lucky just yet. So yeah, the Flagellant is kind of just fending for himself here, because the Man-at-Arms is quite intent on spamming Bellows, having that Eerie Eye, because it works really well against WD. I'm never going to miss a Bell, and I'm never going to fail a debuff. And all 4 of those characters do not like being Bell debuffed, so it feels very, very good for me to just have that rolling here. They've already used one of their transformations. They're doing a bit more stress to me than I am to them, but it's gonna keep stacking up because my opponent wants to spam Zealous. Honestly, perfectly fine move. Like, I'm taking stress here. The stress is gonna matter. I'm at 54 already with my Crusader. I didn't go Bolster. Honestly, in hindsight, maybe I should have dropped the Bolster for 1 turn, rather than just going for Bellow from round 1. Maybe I could have dropped a Bolster. The dodge would have been helpful, considering that's WD, and they will eventually miss an ability or 2. And considering the amount of stress that the WD that they have is doing to me, so, you know, the world domination is gonna beat me through the stress, or at least that seems to be their plan. Honestly, I highly respect it. I feel like it is definitely a valid way of playing WD. So yeah, my opponent here goes for a pull on my Grave Robber. This is quite dire for me. I get to go first, which is nice, but if I move to position 1 here, my Grave Robber can be shot. Now, thankfully, because I used the Toxin Trick, I had to move to position 1 there. If I go for Redeem, while my Grave Robber's in position 1, like, I have nothing going for me. I've already used up 1 Redeem, I'm in position 4, I can't heal anyone, the Grave Robber can't do anything, she's stuck in position 1. It's just pointless. I would get no pressure going on them, and they would get all the pressure going on me, because I'd be stuck, I would be using up my heals prematurely, and yeah, now I'm in a bit of a difficult situation here, because I can immediately redeem, or I can immediately exsanguinate. If I exsanguinate, there's a chance I miss, and immediately lose the match, so no, I'm not going to exsanguinate. If I go for a heal, there's a chance that they stun me and immediately kill me afterwards, because even if I guard, they'll have the Abomination to slam me and potentially get the death blow, because I'll be stunned, right? I'll be stunned after the heal from my Crusader comes down, so that wouldn't be too good. But if I immediately redeem, then my Grave Robber can still be shot and she'll be at this door, and it's going to be really difficult for me to just keep her alive, because I can go for heals with my Crusader, but just like a Manacles brings her back down to 0, and that would be very uncomfortable. So what I end up going for is a guard on my Flagellant, and because their Abomination is dazed, that means that they can't really just go for the turn that they wanted to do, so they have to go for a Flare to get rid of the daze on my Abomination. Now, the problem with this, for me, is that even though they kind of just wasted a turn, they also removed the Bell debuff, so it's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it could be worse as well. I am going to end up deciding on going for a heal on the Crusader, with the Crusader, because there's really not too much else that's better that I can do. And now my Flagellant dropping to this store will heal the other characters again, and this also forces them to use the Slam as well, which they were probably going to do anyway. But after I used the heal, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would save the transformation for later down the line, and kind of what I want to do here is to get rid of their transformations, because they're using them quite quickly, but I think I can survive, because they don't have that stun trinket on the Flagellant, or rather on the Crusader, because they don't have that other stun trinket on the Abomination. I think that I can stabilize here, and I think that after they use up both their transformations, they won't be able to kill me anymore, because they won't be able to deal with the guard. They go for the 30% stun chance, they fail it, they have no pressure, and between my Crusader, my Flagellant, my Men-at-Arms, and my Grave Robber dodge, it's going to be almost impossible, or outright impossible for them to actually get a kill on me, the more they use up their transformations. So if I can just weather the storm, I can kind of try to win here. Now, the other problem that I have is that even though I am doing relatively well at weathering the storm, the storm is raging on in the stress department. I am getting quite close to afflictions, while my opponent isn't. I have 1 Toxin Trickery up my, I have 1 Shadow Fade and Panic Darts up my sleeve, so that will probably be an affliction on the Arbals, and it is indeed an affliction, and it is an affliction with Panic Darts Blight, which is just absolutely huge for me. This means that the Arbalist is going to be dropping to this store in 2 rounds. She goes Selfish as well, which is something that my opponent definitely does not want to get on an Arbalist. That's minus damage, minus accuracy, random act out chance. Or rather, is Selfish random act out? I think it is. Can't remember too well, but yeah, Selfish is not one of the ones you want. It's almost as bad as Fearful. I mean, at least Fearful doesn't have minus accuracy, so it might even be worse in this situation, but yeah. They're gonna go for the Zealous Accusation here, once again doing more stress, and now my Crusader is gonna go Afflicted. You might wonder, Shep, isn't it really better for them to just go damage and go like Stunning Blow on my Crusader? I think I had the stun resistance there. I'm not sure if I did. I think I did, but if I did have the stun resistance, yes, I agree with the Zealous. If I didn't, rather, yeah, with the Zealous, but if I didn't have the stun resistance, I feel like my opponent could be going for more stuns, because just straight up trying to brute force your way to the stress through using the stress moves as WD is, in my opinion, not the move. What you should do is brute force your way to the stress through the damage bar. So you want to do stress not by causing stress, but by causing damage, if that makes sense, because it will force a much longer match, but your opponent's going to be dropping to this store, they're going to be eating crits, and they're going to be having to heal every now and then. So yeah, I'm still having to do that, I'm still having to heal here, but because I have this heal here, that means that my Flagellant doesn't die. They could have killed my Flagellant if they used the stun on my Crusader there. I didn't notice it in the match, but they could have definitely killed my Flagellant there. I mean, I guess I would have... No, I wouldn't even have been able to use the guard. My Flagellant would just be straight up dead. So yeah, this would have been quite disastrous, but it could have been potentially a trade of characters, and that Arbals would go down relatively soon. So yeah, they could have gotten a kill there. But they didn't. They decided to just brute force their way into the stress. And yeah, it's not gonna pay off too well for them, at least in the meantime. They can still keep being aggressive, and now I get an Exsanguinate off on the Abomination. But Shep, you still had Redeems. Redeems before Exsanguinates, and you could have missed. Yeah, both of those are true, but I have no one to heal. I'm probably gonna drop to this store anyway, and if I get the Exsanguinate bleed off on that Abomination, it's gonna be massive, because the Arbals does not have time to heal the Abomination here. The Arbals has to do damage, she has to heal herself, and she has to not pass, which are three very important things. She does not have the time to save that Abomination. Now, because of the Bulwark of Light here and the Bell debuff that I had on that Bounty Hunter, he is not going to do enough damage with the finish him, which is just ginormous for me here, because now I can guard the Flash Hunt and my opponent can't get the kill anymore, and here's why. Once I've dropped this Panic Darts on that Abomination, he's going to go up to almost Afflicted, right? Almost Afflicted. But he's transformed. But once he clicks and takes that 12 stress from being transformed, he's gonna get an affliction and he's gonna de-transform on his own, and that's my opponent's final transformation. So even if they pick the Abomination here, hoping to go for a guard break, there's nothing they can do anymore. And indeed, they do pick the Abomination, but his resolve is tested. He does not go virtuous because he doesn't have a virtue chance. And he's going to de-transform in his own, and now he can't do anything that is transform related, so it's huge for me. He's going to move back, he's going to start spamming the Beast Smile, which is indeed the move that my opponent should be going for. That or the stun on my Grave Robber. Honestly, I think stun on my Grave Robber could have been a bit better, because they have 16 accuracy on that Manacles. With the Wretch's Cloak, I feel like they could be taking advantage of it, but yeah. I went abusive on my Crusader, so I have one affliction while they have two, but we're kind of we're fighting on the stress war, and we're kind of losing, honestly. But we have a lot of tools to heal ourselves that my opponent just doesn't have, and they haven't been able to actually get a kill on me either, and I'm quite close to getting kills on my opponent. They're gonna have two characters at this store now, and one of them is Daze, the other one is Selfish. So it's really, really, really not the spot you want to be in, and my Flagellant is guarded by a character with 90% stun resistance, so they have to get really lucky with that stun to actually get something done here. And at this point, what you want to do with WD is you want to look for kill opportunities, and if you don't manage to get the kill opportunities in a matchup like this, you have the stress to back you up like later down the line, but you have no kill opportunities anymore, and my opponent ends up realizing that they don't have kill opportunities, and they just end up passing because of time pressure, because of being nervous, because of whatever, probably one of those two, right? So yeah, I decide not to give them a reprieve here, because this is a tournament match, so I'm gonna happily take that pass here. I quite need it, and yeah, I could have passed myself or done something of the likes, but honestly, in a tournament, I don't think it is warranted that you give your opponents a reprieve, unless it's like the first action of the first turn, and I don't know, they went to grab some water or something. In that situation, I might give them a reprieve, but no, not in the middle of like round 6, grinding fights of attrition that we're doing here. So yeah, now I can basically just keep my Flagellant at this store for free, get the 5 accuracy and 20% damage, and just go for Rain of Stars on their backline. I'm not quite too sure what the Arbals did. Oh, the Arbals saved the Abomination, right, with the crit heal. But then she passes the next turn, so now I have a kill shot on her, but I am going Afflicted. So I decide not to go for it. It is a bit odd here, but I decide not to go for the killing shot, because I would get Afflicted immediately, and then things wouldn't be too good for me. So I decide to go for my other turns first. Before the heal comes down, I'm going to use a Bellow, I'm going to get some more damage debuffs through. And yeah, the Crusader can heal to save the Arbals here, but even after they do that, they still drop to their store. The Crusader isn't being aggressive, so honestly, getting the kill there would have been good, but considering the fact I would have gone Afflicted, I kind of didn't want to do it. Something inside me just told me, you know what, I don't think that's the best move. I'm gonna do this. She has enough DOT on her to just keep her occupied for like forever. So I'm not gonna go for that immediate kill. She heals for 5. That's not quite enough to be Panic Dartsable. It does 3 to 5 damage against that Prot that she has there. But yeah, I don't do enough damage to that Abomination, sadly. I do hit the Zells, which is already quite nice, so I can't really complain. Because I am abusive, I have 85 accuracy on it, which is really, really, really just dire. But yeah, I am doing enough stress that their Crusader is almost at resolve check. He's at 99, and their Abomination is almost dead as well. If I go for a Panic Dart on that Abomination, he will be dead. I am considering it, But before I can finish considering it, I get pulled with a crit, meaning that my Grave Robber is gonna go Afflicted, and not Stormy today goes Abusive. Also, he's been knocked out to the losers brackets, yeah. Stormy the Buffoon. It sucks. My Grave Robber is named after him. He is in the tournament as well, but he got knocked out like yesterday or something. Because he only plays Grave Robber. Stop playing Grave Robber only. You spam Grave Robber. It's predictable. But yeah, the Abomination is gonna stress everyone out, and the Crusader goes Stalwart. At this point, my heart skips a beat, and I'm like, okay, can lose. Can lose, pretty much. This match is now losable, so let's not, right? Let's not lose it. So yeah, at this point, I have a bit of a choice. I have a guaranteed kill on the Arbalest, and if I get quite lucky, I have a guaranteed kill on the Abomination. But it's better that I kill the Arbalest here. Why? Even though the Abomination at this point is scarier with the Beast Files and with the potential Manacles than the Arbalest is with her damage, which is non-existent, the Arbalest is a healer, and she's in the back, meaning that if I kill the Abomination here, my Zealous only hit one person. So getting Zealous double value when I do eventually decide to go for it, which I probably will, the Flagellant is more than capable enough to keep everyone alive here for a while. The Crusader can kind of just chill for a minute. Yeah, I want to go Zealous on that Abomination and get the pressure on two characters at once rather than just one. So we get rid of the Arbalest, and now it's a 4v3, so I have the character advantage against the WD, which feels really quite nice for me. The Abomination is going to go for his turn. There's no act out. He goes for another self-heal. I can exsanguinate that to bring him down to 0, but I feel like that would be a bit of a bad move here. What I really want to do is just keep the pressure, and that by pressure I mean keep the heal potential. If I keep my Flagellants redeem up, then that means that whenever one of my characters has a heart attack, which they will, whenever one of them has a heart attack, I just drop a redeem, they go back up a lot of HP, way too much HP to just die immediately by another hit, and have heart attack recovery as well, plus probably some anti-stress trinkets that they already have, like the Man-at-Arms has Numbing Instance, Grave Robber has her dodge, which isn't working right now, and the Crusader has the Glorious Standard, so they're gonna have even less stress that you can see. I hear my Man-at-Arms went Masochistic as well, so I feel really comfortable just not using his guard before going for my Flagellant turn. I don't have to worry about him. He's Masochistic, he's not gonna do anything bad. He might hurt himself, or he might move forward, or he might do stress. He doesn't go for random action, he doesn't pass, he doesn't hit someone, or something of the like. So yeah, I'm really just quite lucky with the Afflictions, honestly. I got 2 Abusives in the Masochistic. Yeah, the 2 Abusives aren't great. Let's be honest, the Abusive on the Crusader, it has helped a bit with the Zealous, and thankfully hasn't stunned someone, but so far. And the Grave Robber being abusive means that the plus damage has helped a bit as well, but you know, the minus dodge is obviously a bit unfortunate. But I got a plus dodge on her with like a Paranoid, and the move backs as well to be just absolutely massive, and the Space Alien would have probably surrendered already. But you know, unfortunately I don't get that. But yeah, at this point you do an 11 stress there, and sadly, because of the extra stress that's being dealt, because my Men-at-Arms did more, that means that, and yeah, because I had the Wretched Skull, it means if my Crusader goes Zealous Accusation now, he actually has a heart attack, and then I just immediately die to finish him. So I have to be a bit smarter about this than just immediately going Zealous and pray that I do enough damage, and just die on the spot. Actually, would I die on the spot? Yeah, I'd die on the spot. Because they have a heart attack, but they do stress to me before they die from the riposte, so yeah. I would indeed die on the spot as well. I mean, I would die from the finish him after I have my own heart attack. Unless I got a crit and didn't take enough stress, that's like the one possibility that I would survive here. But what I end up doing is I just go Shadow Feign, you know, they're gonna go finish him, but it does nothing. It's just 4 damage, I have more than enough prot. And here I can go for Zealous Accusation. I don't even need to, unfortunately I miss it, but yeah. All I can do here is just do that, and I can go for a guard. And the thing is, I can just do this so comfortably, not because I don't have any stress on me, which is what you'd normally be able to do against the damage teams, because you can kind of just play around with this setup in a way that they can't kill your characters too well, or in a way that you become like a really tough nut to crack. But because my Afflictions are just so good, I don't have to worry about them being stupid. I really don't. Like, the Crusader can go for stuns on other people, and the Grave Robber can hit other people, but that's kind of it. on the Affliction front. I really don't have any problems. I might go Rapturous soon, and that is going to be a bit annoying. But yeah, so far I'm chilling. I can go for Panic Darts. Once again, I'm abusive. I do a lot of stress. But yeah, I am abusive, meaning that I'll probably do enough damage to just bring that Abomination to the end. And I could have done 8 damage, it would have been really unfortunate. But yeah, thankfully I don't. I get another crit on there. The Abomination is going to go down. And honestly, I could have dropped that on the Crusader or the Bounty Hunter instead. Would have been a better use of the crit and the stress, but just getting rid of a character at this point is better, because now all they have is a 2v4, and I could honestly stall this. Yeah, I could genuinely and ironically, I mean, maybe not, but yeah, I could probably stall this to like full HP 0 stress if I wanted to like round 40. So at this point, I'm kind of just considering my opponent is going to surrender soon. All I need to do is just stay alive. Just stay alive, continue very slowly doing pressure. Let's not ruin what we've done, because if we decide to play a bit greedy here, get rid of a guard, all of my characters dies, the Grave Robber, I mean Masochistic, oofs himself or something, the Grave Robber gets perma-stunned, and my Flagellant can't save anyone. Or rather, you know, my Flagellant can't kill anyone at the end of the match, so yeah. Very difficult to lose at this point with all the pressure that's been done. Yeah, at this point it becomes a bit easier. The Flagellant moves forward as well, which is nice. I can just freely drop a Reclaim here. I'm going for heals at Crusader. I think I got a double crit heal, which is 12 on each. Despite it being an AoE heal, it's 12 on each, because it's not like heals 2 characters. It heals someone and then it heals himself, so it has a 12% chance of getting a crit rather than the 5% of the AoEs. Kind of broken, like everything that is Crusader based. You know, what can you do, right? So they go for a pawn, my man-at-arms here on the act out, it's just completely pointless. The Crusader's just gonna heal, the Grave Robber's gonna do her things. And yeah, she hits the Crusader, he resists the blight somehow. She's gonna go for the Panic Dart, she gets the crit on there, the Bounty Hunter is almost gone. 1 bell and he's a goner. They can heal the Crusader now, but if they heal the Crusader, they're not being aggressive with him, they're just straight up losing, and yeah, Space Alien just ends up surrendering. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the best of 3, so let's have a look at the brackets. So yeah, having a quick look at the brackets, we can see some developments, like a lot of developments have happened since then, so let's have a, like, not so much of a quick look, but more of a longer look at, moving up and down the bracket is so difficult, but yeah. So yeah, I started in round 2, so that was quite lucky for me. I've played against Tonk and Space Alien, so I'm now in the quarterfinals, meaning that if I win the next match against either 9245 or Carollo, I will be in the wait, this is the quarterfinals, is it? Wait, quarterfinals, semifinals, and winners finals. Yeah, so this is the quarterfinals. So if I make it here to the to the semifinals, I will already be at the end stage of the tournament. So at 21st of July, I will play during the live stream, and we're gonna try to make it all the way to the end. So yeah, all I need to do is win 1 more match, and I've pretty much finished my stage 1 of the Butcher Circus tournament. So yeah, looking at the other place in the bracket, we see Mr. D has not been doing too well, but let's have a look at him later. So here are the tournament organizers: Shepard, Carollo, Darkest Duelist, Silac. We're all here, all 4 of us, and we were talking about this. And yeah, it's just, there's Tosclus here as well, so unfortunately she's already down to the loser's bracket, but yeah. If all of us win our matches, it's going to be tournament organizer versus tournament organizer, tournament organizer versus tournament organizer, and then once more, so only one tournament organizer is going to make it all the way to the end. And it is quite funny that we make the rules and we play in the tournament as well, but I mean, we want to play with Circus, that's why we're doing this this whole tournament thing, so it would be far too selfless of us to make a tournament and then not even have the fun of participating in it, right? So yeah, looking at the other place in the bracket, there are 2 people here that I really want to watch and see like what they can do. So yeah, Evil Rob has started in round 1, so this is quite good. Like, some people start in round 2, they get a bit lucky, and most people start in round 1, which is, you know, slightly unlucky, but what can you do? It's just how the brackets are built. So yeah, Darkness has beaten Almas, Toscalis, Sergi, which is a very good opponent, Not saying that the other ones aren't, but Sergi has made it to like 3rd place and all that, and he has a lot of matches, a lot of reputation. And Evil Rob has made it through Soto, has made it through Bison, which is also a great opponent, has made it through Skellig, which is also a very nice opponent, and now they're going to face off against each other. These are 2 people that I really don't know, and they're kind of like just rising stars at this point, but they're going to have to face each other down. We're going to see which rising star makes it all the way to the end. Between Nani245, I have quite a lot of faith in both of them, but I'm sorry, Kirill, I think Nani245 is going to take the W. Between Duelist and Pain the Glass, it's kind of like a classic matchup. Both of them they're kind of like nemesis, so it's going to be pretty funny. Name of the Variable has won 2 matches already. This is a new person, I believe they're Chinese, so as well as all here, but I think they're really, really good, so this is going to be quite an exciting match as well. But yeah, this lower side of the bracket is hell. It is hell. So many good players over here, and Circus started from round 1 as well. He beat the Plague Doctor person, which only had Plague Doctors. He beat Dark Enthusiast, which is a person that I played against like 5 times in the 12-hour shift stress video, so that was pretty fun. So yeah, now he's gonna have to make it through Name Unavailable, and then the winner from these 2, and then through me if I make it through here. But yeah, I hopefully don't want to play. I don't want to play against Salak, not gonna lie, but we'll see how that one goes. Right, Salak, the tournament winner. He's number 1 in the top players at the moment. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Mr. D has gone to the losers bracket. There's also this person that's just eminent in a lot of numbers that has made like has gone on quite the warpath here. They are in the same spot I'm in, so we will see how that goes down. I'm quite excited for it. Tang, who I beat, has already beaten 2 people as well, so this is kind of like the worst spot you can be in, though. Like, being in the losers bracket round 1 is absolutely god-awful, because let's say you're Stormy, right? Where is he? Because he lost, I know he's here, yeah. Stormy's here. He has to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he has to win 6 best of 3s just to be in the place for like the 21st of July part of the tournament. So yeah, very, very difficult from that point on. Well, I've only had to win 3, so it's very unfair if you... Well, it's not really unfair, it's just how the brackets are built because of the whole... You get to lose once at the very least. So yeah, they're gonna have to go on quite the warpath, and I don't think anyone has ever won from losers bracket round 1. There was someone, I think it was Tiger Fingerman, that made it like to the finals from here, or very close to the finals, and went on like a 9-win warpath or something of the like. So yeah, hopefully you get to see something like that again. We aren't really close to seeing it just yet. I don't think anyone's doing that apart from Tung. Maybe Tung is the one that does it, but I'm not sure. Maybe we get to see a rematch, but we're a long way from a rematch, I think. Yeah, we're still quite a ways away. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers!